I'm going to be talking about zakat on trade goods. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. So the scholars say there's three conditions. The first condition is that the individual should have actually taken possession of this item by his own doing, as if he had bought it or accepted it as a gift, which means if he possessed it through other means such as inheritance, there's no zakat. This is disputable. This is not a valid condition because this and alongside intending to trade in it can change according to the intentions. So the Prophet ﷺ says, actions but by intentions, and each individual will have but which he intended. If he possessed something and he did not have the intention to trade it, there's no zakat on it. So for example, I got an item for wearing and then later someone comes and says they're interested in buying it and they're willing to give a good price, so he agrees. So the money you receive from this is not zakatable because you did not intend to sell it, but rather someone approached you and then you changed your mind. The second condition is that you possessed it with the intention of trading it. The third condition is that it meets the threshold. The threshold of silver is best in the interest of the poor, so we use it as a guideline to estimate the value of our trade goods. So if it meets the threshold of silver to benefit the poor, the value of zakat on traded goods, should I give zakat over the price I bought it or the price of today when it is due? So you give zakat on today's value and you give zakat on that. What counts as the value of today when the zakat is due to be paid? In terms of adding trade goods to other possessions like gold and silver, you can do this. I can add whatever trading goods I have to gold, silver or cash even if it did not reach the threshold. The evidence is the consensus of scholars. Al-Qatabi and Ibn Qudama reported that there is a consensus among scholars, and secondly is related to the value, and the value is found in gold, silver and the likes are found in trade goods. If I'm trading, when I buy and sell, I have a profit. Is the profit separate, or do I have to count a new lunar year to be completed on the profit to give zakat, or is the profit considered to be part of the capital? So whenever the capital is due, I have to give it. The latter view is correct. You don't start a new lunar year if you see profit 11 months later. The capital, which is in the first month, let's say this is when it's due, not 9 months later when you make a profit and then you start a new lunar year. So if I have 100,000 capital in the first month of the year, then 1/10 on 10th month make 10,000 profit. You don't start a new lunar year in the 11th month, rather you combine the capital of 100,000 in the first year and the 10,000 profit and pay it in the first month. This is the most authentic opinion, that the profit follows the capital. The plots and when to give zakat on it. The same concept applies as earlier. If you're a real estate agent, you buy plots, keep them for 6 months. They're displayed. If you get like 5 to 10% profits, you sell and buy other plots. In this case, zakat is due because this is trading goods, and of course it would have reached the nisab. It is more than 595 grams of silver. Once the capital you invested in buying plots and selling them a lunar year rotates while in my possession, you have to give 2.5% on the zakat due, not how much you bought it for. If I buy plots with the intention to live on it, to build it, to use it for building or renting in the future, you must give it to the children. Other reasons other than selling it is not displayed with real estate agents. I have a plot of 1,000 square meters. You're interested, you give me a call. But if my intentions changes and you want to buy and sell plots, then the beginning of the zakat year starts from the changing of my intention. There are a number of related issues. Issue one is that there's no zakat on my own home that I live in or in my vehicle because I own these things, because I'm using them, my clothes, my utensils, my furniture, my computers that are not zakatable, not displayed to be sold. If I change the intention, is not by someone offering me money, that is not trading goods, that is not the intention. The intention changes when I turn it into a lucrative business and start selling the laptops. The second issue, I started a business or I changed my mind. I have a plot now, I want to sell it. In the beginning, it was not for trading purposes, but now I've changed my mind and it's become a trading good. Let's assume I displayed on sale, it's something first Ramadan and you sold it on the second Ramadan. The amount of zakatable begins on the first of Ramadan. However, if I displayed it for the sale for a whole lunar year, no one bought it. A year later, the value I want is 1 million. I could get 700,000. I don't want to sell. I'm still waiting for a person to offer 1 million. If it has been a full lunar year since it's been displayed, now you have to give zakat on the price of today's value, which is 700,000, and you give 2.5% due to a change of intention. If a person gets money during the lunar year, so I have properties, I have wealth, I have traded goods, and I get money, should I add this money to original wealth and assume that the remaining year is sufficient, and at the end of the year give zakat for everything? We have to look if the money I received was generated from the trading goods I have. has to follow the same lunar year for zakat. At the end of the lunar year, I have to give zakat on all of them. But if it's something that is new, if I assume I have trading goods and wealth of 100,000 in the middle of the year, my father dies and I inherit money, so it's in my possession. So do I give zakat on the money that I inherited on top of the trading goods and wealth of 100,000? The answer is, 100,000. The answer is no. This has a new lunar year to pass over it, but if I want to save myself from the trouble, I want to save time, I want to fix one specific day in the Hijri calendar, and whatever I possess gives zakat that fixed day, that will be sufficient and permissible without an issue. I leave it here for Manila. Wa sallallahu wa baraka ala nabina Muhammad. Astaghfirullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.